What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo. After most people are able to get this version of Ivy to A5, I thought we'd do a video about her because she is absolutely insane. Now, she's not the strongest character in the game, but boy, she is damn powerful, guys. This girl is crazy insane. So we're gonna be doing just like normal, guys. We're gonna do a little guild raid run to show just how much damage this girl can actually put out, and I'm gonna show you guys an actual solo by her, and then I'm gonna show you what happens whenever you put her with a team, which would actually be even more if I use just a solid soul caliber team. But this is the solo that we're gonna run. We're gonna use this team right here. We're gonna use Naku because she gives a leadership of 65% increase to blue element fighters, which Ivy is. We're not gonna be using Cassandra. It's just gonna be a solid solo run with Ivy. Now, something that's pretty cool about Ivy is that she does have a link support with Shermie, who does apply shock. This is actually really great for Nightmare Geese. Pretty awesome. So whenever you're doing a solo, I think it's a really good idea, guys, to go ahead and give her this this Zhang Fei option card, because this baby actually is going to increase your critical rate, which is really good for these characters, and also has a 50% chance to deal chill damage upon landing a critical hit. So whenever you got like a Rugal set, the Athena set, all these sets in the game that increase all this critical rate, especially the new banner set, this is going to proc a lot. And along with that shock from the striker, you can melt geese pretty damn quick doing complete solos. Now, this is the setup that I used for the solo, but for the actual run, team run, what I used was, we'll scroll down here, and I used one of the Soul Calibur 6 option cards, which was this one right here. This is the one that I actually had equipped to her in the run that you guys are going to see. It does increase her CP, which really doesn't matter as far as damage, but the increased attack by 20% for 7 seconds when a Soul Calibur 6 fighter lands a critical hit is pretty massive. It's pretty massive. I don't know if it's the best card, guys. I haven't tested all the cards, but this card here and the card I just shown you is the one I'm going to use for the team run, and this is the setup that I used for the solo run. So let's jump into it, guys. I'll pull up the run for you guys right now, and we'll talk about Ivy as you guys are watching this. So again, we're just using Nakaru's leadership. We're going to bring in Ivy, and it's just going to be all her, my friends. Now, Ivy's a pretty damn insane character, especially for a free character. You know, having the 30% PG raid, having the increased damage by 30% on a critical hit, having the increased darkness attack by 15%, and then this is the big one, the inflict 2,000% physical damage whenever darkness is applied. That is a big reason why this girl is so strong. And we'll talk about her EX core here in a little bit and why I'm playing her the way I am. But she has a 100% chance to increase critical damage of all teammates, including self, by 20% for 12 seconds when using an active skill. So she buffs up all the other teammates on the team, giving them a nice critical damage buff, which is awesome. Additionally, increases Soul Calibur 6 fighters' critical damage by 20%. So not only is she an amazing character on her own, but she's also a really good support, especially for the Soul Calibur characters. She's immune to freeze, poison, and starlight. She has a recover HP heal when attacked while at 70% HP or less, which is nice, as she has a built-in heal. You don't even have to guard to get that thing. And she gains damage immunity for 5 seconds when HP is 30% or less. So it's nice that she's got that damage immunity on a 9-second core, just like the other Soul Calibur characters. And it's also awesome that she has a 15% heal whenever she guards. And it's very important, guys, to guard with this character. You see what I'm doing, right? You see how I'm playing this. Just watch how I'm doing this. Watch how I'm playing this thing. And you can see exactly that there is a set pattern to what I'm doing. Now, Ivy's first skill does apply that darkness, which is pretty damn nutty, right? And attack of all enemies deals darkness damage equal to 350% of attack to all enemies every 0.3 seconds for 12 seconds. It's nice that it lasts for 12 seconds, and then she has an increased attack by 250% on that skill. It's always important to apply the darkness, and the darkness will apply to anyone on the screen no matter where they're at, which is fantastic for this game mode, for HD, for PvP, just everything, guys. Her darkness just melts. Her second skill is an interrupt skill that has a critical rate buff by 40% and increased target damage received by 20%, which is also awesome. And her third skill is a tap and go skill, where the first time you hit it, it gains hyper armor for 4 seconds and increases Raging Gnome EX skill damage by 600%. It's very important to hit the third skill before you use the second skill, especially off your EX core. And her default, it just resets her skills. It's not really important to use her default unless you're trying to delay the timer like what I'm doing. You're trying to use as much as possible, but you remain in an iframe, have a little extra survivability using the thing, guys. But Yeah, so let's talk about what I'm doing here, okay? So I'm waiting, I get a heal, I hit the first skill to apply the darkness, then the third skill to get the attack buff, and then the second skill, right? Remember, the third skill buffs up the second skill, okay? And here we go. Now watch what I do, all right? I'll hit the darkness, I'll hit the third skill, and then I'll just hold down the second skill. This is something that's really nice about her, is if you have her at A5, which most of you are going to have her at A5, and this is something that's awesome about this video, is that all you gotta do, guys, and I did find that I did more damage doing it this way, is I would just hit the third skill and then just hold down the second skill after using the EX core. It just spams the living crap out of it. I mean, there might be an argument if you don't have a couple cooldown cards on her. Like if you're using, like, say, a Shermie option card and you're using a Kula option card, then you're not going to have near as much cooldown. So there might be an argument there to where you might use the second, third. But I did a run, tried that on solo, and I still did more damage when I just held down the second skill, right? Instead of spamming the second and third over and over and over. She just did more damage for me, and I've done this quite a few times, guys. I ran this test quite a few times, played her a little bit on the live stream last night, played her for a good, hour and a half or so this morning, and that's the outcome I kept getting. But look at this, guys. Look at this, right? This is a solo. She's hit 42 billion against Nightmare Geese. This is a completely free-to-play character, right? It's just insane. And I screwed up there. I switched to Nakaruru. Could have got 43 billion, guys. Could have got 43, maybe even near 43.5 billion if I wouldn't have switched to Nakaruru by accident there. But still, 42 billion solo is crazy. It is absolutely insane. But now let me show you guys her potential whenever you have her in a team composition. Because believe you me, guys, this is redonkulous, okay? All right, so I just jumped to the next segment, guys. Check this out. Team composition here, right? We got Athena, we're bringing in Ivy, we're going to do her 3PG, right? Now, something about Ivy's darkness, guys, is it is so strong and it melts so much over time that even though you're not applying the right dots, you can actually deplete the meter, which is pretty weird, or not weird, but pretty wild, man, pretty insane. So that's why I didn't use her darkness just now, but I will from this point forward, right? Now, Cassandra, and this is a level 90 Cassandra completely for free that everybody was able to get. You can use her default, because her default, let me check here really quick, guys. Her default actually increases, I believe, the critical damage, or it actually increases the Soul Calibur Fighter attack, right? It increases the Soul Calibur Fighter 6 attack by 250% for 20 seconds. So you'll see me using her default to buff up Ivy, and also her core increases Soul Calibur Fighter 6 attack by 130% of defenses for 20 seconds upon using and finisher skill. And Cassandra's first skill also does apply another buff where it increases Soul Calibur Fighter defenses by 60% for 7 seconds, which is nice. So I will use the first skill in order to increase her defenses, but it really doesn't make a big difference really as far as Ivy's concerned. What makes a difference is her core and doing that default. So here we'll use the default. We're going to get that big old buff. We got the buff from the core. We switch to Ivy, right? We apply the darkness at the third skill, and then just let that hold down the second skill and just spam the living hell out of it. And you guys can see just how strong she is. She is freaking destroying it. Now, let's talk a little bit about the character's animations. This 3PG is amazing, guys. Her first skill can apply darkness to anyone on the screen. When she throws that whip out, right? I know it's not technically a whip, but that's what I'm going to call it. It's just so awesome because you don't have to worry about, hitting the character. You don't have to land the attack. That is sweet. And her second skill, kind of like Orochi's skills, can hit anyone from anywhere on the screen. So say there's darkness on the ground, right? And Ivy's at a distance. Ivy can stand out of the darkness and still hit Geese with her second skill over and over and over. That's really awesome. It's really awesome for PvP. It's awesome for multiple game modes. Very, very nice the way that she's set up. It's awesome, guys. It's really, really sweet, right? And getting these buffs from these girls using Athena's leadership, right? The 50% increased attack to EX fighters and 35% increase to critical damage on top of Athena's second skill that gives 100% increase to attack, and then using the buffs from Cassandra as well. You guys can see there is a massive difference in the damage. We also do have a different option card in this run, as I showed you earlier, But you can see there's a ridiculous amount of difference in damage whenever you're using a team. This has always been the case. When you use a team, you break the meters, you apply the right dots, you can just do a lot better. Plus, we're using all these extra buffs. Ivy's getting all the buffs from Cassandra and Athena in this run. And now her damage is skyrocketing, right? It's skyrocketing. Now there, I didn't mean to hit Athena's 3PG. That kind of sucked, right? There we go. And boom. And just let it go. Look at that, guys. I mean, she hit 100 billion in a minute. She hit 100 billion in a minute. Now, my fame system is about level 15, and I can tell you guys that I have other players, guild members, that are doing even better because they have the banner set. The banner set is actually OP for the Soul Calibur characters, but as I said in my past live stream or my past live summons, I'm not really that worried about it because I don't really like sets that just buff up specific characters. Even though they might be, or in this case, they are the most OP for them, I'm not really that worried about it because the game doesn't really give us a reason to have all this extra damage. This is all just showing off, bragging, look at what I can do, look at what my girl can do, and that's pretty much it. It's still awesome, it's still really cool, it's good to see, but because of the fact that, you know, Netmarble has the game set up this way, I don't really worry about having the most damage all the time, right? It's really insane that she's doing as much damage as she is in this run. Just really insane, guys. Like, this I cannot stress enough how this is a free character. A free character doing this. Both these characters are free, guys. Yes, I have Athena, right? But Taki's leadership's the same as Athena's. Remember that. And Taki can buff up these characters too, right? I mean, I know a lot of you might not have Athena, but believe you me, I mean, you still can make it work, I guarantee. There's, you know, she isn't the only character that you can use. She's just a damn good support for EX characters, so it really, really helps and makes your life a whole lot easier when you have the character. And I do like kind of bringing a spotlight on past EX characters that still remain super, super relevant in the game. But if you just got Ivy, you just started off the game, you're still going to be loving life. She can still do 100% solos, as I've shown you earlier. She can still destroy and absolutely murder these game modes. It's really nice that she's got that heal, but you will find you will have to use your guard, guys. You will have to use that guard to get a little bit more heal every now and again because a 5% heal from her core when she gets attacked isn't really that high. So the 15% recovery is still a whole lot better whenever you're guarding. And I've said this in all these videos with these Soul Calibur girls. You need to guard, guys. You need to get used to guarding. Now, when you're doing this kind of setup, you don't have to guard. I'm not guarding at all. I'm just flying through these characters, flying through their skills, right? I'm not guarding whatsoever. I'm not trying to build up a heal at all. I mean, look at that, guys. She's at 179 billion. She's already hitting 200 billion, right? She did 20 billion in one freaking rotation. She did 20 billion in one rotation, guys. This is at A5, right? This is at A5. That is crazy. Look at that. We have 5 seconds left, right? 5 seconds left. I mean, that is nuts. I mean, let me back that up, okay? Check this out, right? Right, let me kind of go a little bit forward here, okay? And let's look at how much, what the score is when I bring in Ivy. Okay, now look. We're at 176 billion. 176 billion. I just brought in Ivy. Okay? Okay, maybe it wasn't 20 billion. No, I'm sorry. It was 176 billion. That is 25 billion in one run? So it's even better than I thought a second ago. 25 billion in one rotation, guys. That is how insane this girl is, especially if you have the buffs from other characters. It's actually nuts. But all alone, doing a solo, doing 40 billion is awesome. And you're going to see videos out there of guys or players that have, you know, a higher fame system than me. They're going to be using the banner set, and she's going to be doing even more damage, guys. I mean, this is at level 15. I don't have my penetration. My penetration is at level 10, right? I mean, it's leveled up a little bit, but it isn't much. Like, there's players that's going to have level 30, 20 plus, and that makes a huge difference as far as how much damage they're going to have. Transcended cards, which again, and that's something else, guys. Those cards are non-transcended, none of them, and still was able to get over 200 billion. So, I mean, Ivy is redonkulous, guys. She is absolutely nuts. And I think, the only caveat to the character is the fact that you do have to come in the summons and you do have to pull for her 3 PG in the summons. But you know what? That's a small price to pay considering that you're getting a free A5 EX character that is godly. So guys, let me know what you think about Catsuit Ivy, and I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GT+7 time. The link is in the description below, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody.